is in Cleveland, and on a day-to-day basis, he can be about as good as any pitcher that you may face in either league. The key is to try to get on him early, and for Tyler Mahle today, his off-speed pitches will be crucial to this hard-hitting lineup that the Indians will run out there.
Now, I need to get your opinion as the Reds take the field of the uniforms that they are sporting on Throwback Sunday today.
I like them. They're very similar to the uniforms that we wore here one year with the cutoff sleeves. Some people don't like the look. I think it really looks great. I love pitching in them because it gave you so much freedom at the top of your shoulder. You really didn't have a whole lot of material that would gather and restriction, and hopefully that will benefit one Tyler Mahle here on this afternoon.
Well, for whatever it's worth, in the 46 years I've been around, the uniform that you're wearing on the picture that's in this radio booth up here to my
the pinstripe white one,
the best.
I loved it. That was my favorite.
The sleeveless, the best-looking uniform that this ball club has worn.
They were
since
great hats.
No question.
It just looked great.
Well, that's a 56 uniform, which the Reds are wearing here today, and it was a cutout that was popularized because of the incredible forearm or biceps that Ted Kluszewski had. And he just one day decided, I'm too constrained, cut out the sleeves, and that led to an incredible phenomenon that spread throughout this ball club. And they can thank one of the great people in the history of this game as a person for making it happen. And as we watch Yasiel Puig go out to his position in right field, Klue would be very proud of the way he looked in that uniform.
I would say so. You've got the cutout. You've got the nose sleeve look, I guess you could say, with Eugenio Suarez, the same with Joey Votto at first. And there is no doubt that Yasiel Puig was going to wear those arms out today.
No question about it. Tyler Mahle making his 17th start. He is 2-8 with a .436 earned run average. Lifetime against the Indians, one decision, a losing one. So the 24-year-old who's had ups and downs throughout the course of the first half of this baseball season, like his ball club, trying to close out on a winning note today. And they can kick back and relax. It matters no little bit wherever they are. But all coming together again next Friday night when they take on the Rockies in Denver to resume the schedule. It'll be Francisco Lindor, the four-time All-Star, to lead it off for the Indians. Our first pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati, proud sponsor of your Cincinnati Reds. So Lindor, a left-handed batter who opened the game yesterday with a home run waiting. And Mahle with a wide up of the pitch and a swing and a high fly ball headed to left. And the catch made by Jesse Winker. One pitch, one out, and this game is underway. 87 degrees is our game time temperature with slightly overcast skies. Again, no threat of rain that we are aware of. And Lindor gone on one pitch, and now Greg Allen comes up. He's making his first start of this series. He was a pinch runner in yesterday's game and remained in the game to play left field. A left-hand batter who comes in working on a 6-game hitting streak, Allen. And the pitch to him is taken for a strike. So Votto at first, Peraza at second, Suarez at third, Iglesias at shortstop. With Winker in left, Senzel in center, Puig in right, and Farmer behind the plate. And that pitch is high and tight, a ball and strike. Carlos Santana will bat next. The Indians are now 11 games over the 500 mark after yesterday's win. Ground ball to the right side. Votto dives, can't get it, but the second baseman does. Nice play by Peraza. And from long distance, he gave Tyler Mahle a great throw.
Right on the money.
So one of those rare 4-1 out plays. Well, they say now Votto touched the ball, so it'll be 3-4-1. That's even more rare.
It's like hitting that running back out in the flat. Bam.
That's right. Two-out batter is Santana. He's one of the 4 All-Stars off this Indians ball club, joined by a young man who was the winning pitcher yesterday, Shane Bieber, and Lindor and Brad Hand. for the 1-2-3 first as Malley. Dixon pitches, and here's a fly ball hammered to deep right center field, and it's off the wall. And here's a throw into second base, not in time, and it looks like Senzel has come up lame. He banged into that wall hard, making an all-out effort to make the catch on that ball, and now he is noticeably limping in center field. Steve Bauman, the Reds' head trainer, will race out there to check on him, and from where we sit, he can put very little weight on that ankle or that foot. He hit that baby hard, and I would be stunned if Nick Senzel stays in this game.
His right foot caught the wall as he leaped into the air, leapt into the air, and it looked like it really put a lot of pressure on that ankle. I mean, his entire weight all collapsed on that ankle. And I tell you what, Marty, if Yasiel Puig had gotten that ball cleanly into his hand as the ball came off the wall, he'd get Santana to second base. There was a little bit of a reach and a little bit of a bobble as the ball came off the wall because it hit the dirt kind of funny.
Well, they are all crowded around Nick Senzel out there in center field. Manager David Bell is out there. And now the discussion more or less between Steve Bauman and Nick Senzel, and now Nick putting a little bit more weight on it. I'll tell you what, he may stay in this game.
I think that was the same ankle that he hurt earlier. But you hit the wall like that, and it kind of scares you, to be honest with you. I mean, he's already been on the disabled list earlier this year with an injured ankle. Tell you what, he didn't shy away from the wall.
Not a little bit. That'll be interesting to bear watching from now on to see whether or not he's able to go the distance today, or whether or not once he gets in that dugout, that thing starts to bother him a bit more.
Well, I didn't see him jog back and forth. Normally, when you have that kind of issue, the manager or the trainer wants to see you run a little bit. Nick must have done some pretty good convincing argument.
That'll bring up Jason Kipnis, the second baseman, ball to him. So I guarantee you one thing. At the moment, I would think Nick Senzel is hoping that the ball is hit anywhere but to center field. Kipnis batting only .235, 6 homers and 32 runs batted in, but much better hitter than that over the last 3 weeks. Now the 1-0 coming to the left-hand batter. And that one is again inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Most of the time with those kinds of injuries, Marty, as we've seen over the years, the initial part of it you can kind of get through because you continue to move, your adrenaline is going. As the game goes on, that's when it begins to stiffen.
So 2 quick outs, then the double by Santana, and now he's behind in the count to Kipnis. And now it's a strike on the outside to run the count to 2-1. Straightaway outfield, shift to the pull side for Kipnis on the right side of the infield with Jose Peraza playing a shallow right field. And now with the ball tucked behind his right hip, Malley seeking out the sign from Kyle Farmer, straightens up on the mound, checks the runner, 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's a swing and a miss. Plate umpire is David Rackley. The crew chief is at first, Larry Vanover, with Chad Whitson and Dan Bellino at second and third, respectively. Had a crowd yesterday in excess of 36,000. And it won't be that big today, but this is still a good crowd. 2-2 pitch. And a foul ball. Talking about the Indians and how they have seemingly come out of nowhere to really put themselves in a position of making a serious run coming out of the All-Star break. The fact that they still have 13 games remaining with a division-leading Minnesota Twins. They are 6.5 games behind Minnesota at the moment. That pitch is way high in a full count. But this is, in effect, a 2-team race. Chicago in third place, but the White Sox are 13.5 out, with Tigers and Royals 26 and 27 games respectively following. Here's a payoff pitch. And he walked him. So now you got to face Jose Ramirez with 2 on and 2 out. A mystifying 2019 season for this guy, batting .217 with only 7 home runs and only 34 runs batted in. The pitch to him, and that's taken for a strike. His numbers the last few years would have in no way reflected what might be coming up when this 2019 baseball season started. 1 strike on Ramirez, and that one a bouncing ball to Votto, who gloves it and underhands to Mahle, and that takes care of the Indian threat.
An everyday schmo just like you and me. Scott Slow, tomorrow morning at 9 on 700 WLW.
Baseball's 2 biggest events of the summer, back-to-back. The action begins at the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then catch baseball's biggest stars at the 90th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard this Tuesday night on Fox. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Now Nick Senzel showing no worse for the wear and tear on that ankle when he banged into the wall. Will stand in to lead it off against a tough right-hander by the name of Trevor Bauer. 7-6 on the year with a .374 earned run average. Going to work on Senzel. The pitch is up and in, ball 1. He is 1-2, but with a .303 lifetime earned run average in 7 starts. That includes a June 11th appearance against the Reds at Progressive Field, where the Indians won 2-1. It was a no-decision start for Bauer, who worked 7 2/3 innings, giving up a run on 6 hits. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a swing and a miss on a pitch in. Bauer, 6'1", 205 out of Houston, Texas. There are those who would tell you he is a rather eccentric young man, and that would probably be accurate. He kicks and delivers, and that one is fouled straight back.
You know, I have no problem with that. I think he is heavy duty into the studying of the game. I think he's very aware of what he can and can't do. And maybe he's just a little different.
That pitch is high to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He may be a right-hander in a left-hander's body. You know what I'm saying? Lefty.
I know definitely about left-handers. I understand that. I know we're a little bit different. Yid thinks I'm normal, but that's okay. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
No, he only tells you that.
He doesn't even tell me that. Yid's famous line is, "There's something wrong with you." Now wear that as a badge of honor. 3-2 the count on Senzel. He kicks and delivers, and he walks Nick Senzel. So a good at-bat right out of the chute by the rookie allows him free access to first and brings up first baseman Joey Votto.
Well, we say it every time we get a veteran starter on the mound. Get him before he gets comfortable. Now Bauer, it was evidenced in that at-bat to Senzel. He wants to pitch inside a little more. We've heard him make comments.
He has.
According to that, I need to pitch inside more, get guys off the plate. But that takes you out of your game mentally if you're normally used to pitching down and away.
So he's got a base runner on behind him, and now here's Joey Votto. And Votto takes ball 1. 271 batter, but a 5-game hitting streak in which he swung the bat at a .333 pace. Joey back in the box. Senzel edging off the bag at first against a holding Carlos Santana. And now the pause in the pitch, and that's a strike. Flip the outside black. And it's all even at 1-1. Originally a property of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Trevor Bauer was acquired in December of 2012, along with Matt Albers and Brian Shaw, in exchange for Lars Anderson, Tony Sipp, and infielder D.D. Gregorius, who was in that three-way trade going from the Reds. Very high fly ball. Votto hits in left field, and camping and catching is Jake Bowers, and there's one out. The three-team trade also sent outfielder Shin-Soo Choo, infielder Jason Donnell and Cash from the Indians to the Reds, and outfielder Drew Stubbs from Cincinnati to Cleveland. Hard to believe that was 7 years ago, but that's when it was in 2012. Here's Eugenio Suarez with one out. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. Sunshine peeking out right now to provide some natural light down on the field. And that pitch is strike on the inside. 20 home runs, 54 runs batted in for the Reds' third baseman.
Always thought Gregorius would be a starter for a major league club. Never envisioned him being as good with the Yankees as he has been.
No question. Foul ball back.
I mean, could you have ever thought that D.D. Gregorius would be hitting cleanup for the Yankees as he did the last couple of years before he got hurt?
Well, he wasn't around here long enough for the Reds to gain
really
any kind of determination.
Well, you had Zach Cozart at the time, and there was not going to be a lot of playing time for anybody that was a shortstop.
That is correct. Ball is fouled back in the count, holding it 0-2. Ciel Puig watching from the on-deck circle. Bauer walked Senzel, got Votto on a fly ball to left, and throws the 0-2 pitch again to Eugenio Suarez. And he struck him out swinging with a breaking ball way off the plate.
That is a pitch that has really not been in the sight line for Eugenio Suarez really this entire first half. Because that breaking ball never started on the plate, never caught any of plate, even out of the hand of Bauer.
Well, you got to be an ultimate guess hitter to continue to swing at pitches like that.
Well, when we've seen Suarez struggle with that pitch in the past, at least last year, he would go back to hitting the ball to right center field, and then he would take that pitch, make the pitcher come to you. Then he'd start pulling the ball out of the ballpark.
Here now is Puig with two out. He shoots one into right field, and that's a base hit.
Stay hot.
And the runner goes to second base, and Puig extends his hitting streak to 5 games. And the Reds, in the bottom of the first, doing exactly what the Indians did in the top, and that is to threaten with 2 men on and 2 men out. And they threaten for the left-handed batting Jesse Winker.
That pitch that Puig just hit, if it was 6 inches off the ground, that's giving it a pretty good estimate of height. Still hit it on a good part of the bat right through the right side of the infield.
So now Winker, a 245-253 average with 13 home runs and 26 runs batted in, comes to the plate to hit off of Trevor Bauer with Senzel at second and Puig at first. And the first pitch to Winker is a strike. Outfield straight away and deep. A look back at second and on to the plate, and that's way inside and low to get things even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, I was saying this at the beginning of the year when Jesse was hitting leadoff. I just like him better at this position in the lineup rather than hitting in the top spot. I like Senzel at the top spot with his speed, and I think Winker gives you a better at-bat with runners on base. Don't know what the numbers say right off the bat, but from a visual standpoint, it seems to be the case.
Now the 1-1 pitch, and it's down and in to run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. I imagine there's some folks listening today that probably can reflect back upon that 56 baseball season when the Reds wore these uniforms. Players like Ed Bailey and George Crow and Johnny Temple was the second baseman. Roy
Johnny
McMillan was
Temple.
the shortstop. Don Hoke played third. And then you had people like Frank Robinson, Wally Post, Gus Bell in the outfield, David's granddad. I mean, a team with a lot of offensive thump throughout the lineup. That pitch is fouled back. And that season, the leading home run hitter on the ball club was first baseman George Crow, who after his playing days became a recluse. He bought a farm, or bought a home, a log cabin, I believe, up in the Adirondack Mountains. And rarely did anybody ever see him come out of there. But he made his presence known in 1956 with 31 home runs and 92 runs batted in for that ball club. Here's the pitch, and it's grounded foul. Frank Robinson hit 29 home runs on that ball club. Wally Post hit 20. Gus Bell had 13, along with 61 runs batted in. And even part-timers like Smokey Burgess, a catcher, and Bob Thurman, an outfielder, had 14 and 16 home runs respectively. Joe Nuxhall was on that club, along with Brooks Lawrence, Hal Jeffcoat, Johnny Klipstein, Herschel Freeman, Art Fowler. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and that's inside ball three. The throw down to second. They almost got Senzel coming back in. Nuxhall that year was 10 and 10. The top winner on that staff was Brooks Lawrence, who was 16 and 13. It was a ball club that had a lot of personality, and a team that wore this uniform and wore it proudly in that 56 season. Here's the payoff pitch with the runners on the move, with 2 out in the inning. And a line drive and dropped by the second baseman Kipnis, but with time to pick it up and throw him. Situation after banging into the wall on Santana's drive in the first. He has been lifted from the lineup, and so Derek Dietrich comes off the bench to play second, with Peraza moving to left and Jesse Winker sliding over to play center field. Jake Bowers will open against right-hander Malley here in the top of the second. Pleased to have with us from the Athletic, none other than C. Trent Rosecrans. There's a swing and a miss, and I'm often reminded, as often as you can be reminded over the last 2 hours, of the comment that you made earlier today in the clubhouse. When I retire, I hope I can have the kind of retirement that Bronson Arroyo has.
Actually, I used something similar once with Ken Griffey Jr. And I told Ken, I said, Ken, when I was younger, I wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr., the baseball player. Now that I'm older, I want to be Ken Griffey Jr., the retired baseball player.
0-2 pitch to Bowers, and that's high for a ball.
Those are two guys who have done retirement right.
They really have, no question about that.
It's all about that long-term deal.
Yeah, it helps. They're both still getting paid.
Yeah, it's got something to do with that.
Bobby Bonet's agent is free.
Here's a high pop-up that will have enough hang time to get it on top of the dugout. The young man reaches over that roof and makes a catch. For those of you listening who have not found out, the Reds added another member from their ball club to the National League All-Stars team, and that would be pitcher Sonny Gray, who was announced last night. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Bowers, and you visited with Sonny and talked about that, and I'm sure he's thrilled to death.
He was really excited. It's his wife's birthday today. They were going to go to Florida, and he called her last night. He said it took like 12 rings before and then he gave up. She was packing and called him back and said, "What do you want?"
Bauer strikes out swinging. What do you want?
And he told her that not going to vacation in Florida, going to take the break in lovely Cleveland.
How about that?
And what's also funny, he said they were in Cleveland when he was in Oakland and made the team. They were in Cleveland and came to Cincinnati for the All-Star game, and this time, since Cincinnati, going to Cleveland.
That's pretty cool.
I'm sure Derek Johnson's thrilled about that, is he not?
He was. he did not want to take as much credit as Sonny wanted to give him. That's for sure. But I can't think there's a more valuable member of the Cincinnati Reds in 2019 than Derek Johnson.
Agreed, 100%.
I think everybody would agree with that.
You know, and you know, it was Sonny had the great line. He just said, "It feels like Derek's taught me how to pitch twice."
That's a good line. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Perez, to be followed by Tyler Naquin. We visit with Trent Rosecrans from The Athletic.
It's crazy the last couple of years what we've seen with this pitching staff. For us to be splitting hairs on which pitcher deserved that second All-Star nod.
Yep.
Because you could go with Amir Garrett if he weren't on the injured list. I mean, Tanner Roark's numbers aren't that far from Sonny Gray's.
Absolutely.
It's almost a coin flip between those two. So, from what we've been used to that.
Strike call, 2-2 to count.
And with Alex Wood possibly coming back soon, it's a world of difference. It's a world of difference.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, and a 0-0 game here in the second inning, and lays off the pitch upstairs does Perez, who had 4 hits, including the game-winning home run here yesterday, and it's a 3-2 count.
You know, the other part I find interesting, Trent, this is pitching staff wide. I mean, we set epic records for giving up home runs the last 3 years, and you're the best, or you've given up the least this year.
I mean,
that's a major turnaround.
And it's something you can say is because forever the perception is you can't pitch in this park and be successful.
Right.
Of course, they were pretty darn successful in 2012 and 2013.
It's a mindset.
And it is. They don't think about it, and they don't worry about it. Guys like Tanner Roark.
Derek's not going to let you get negative.
High pop up, foul territory, hard run, and caught by Tyler Mahle. Nice play because it was questionable that Joey Votto would get there, but Mahle cut in front of him and made the running catch as he went full bore toward the Reds' dugout.
That's what you talk about when you have good athletes on the mound. That can really come in. We've seen it twice with Tyler Mahle today. That play in the first off Votto's glove to cover, and then that.
Tyler Naquin now with 2 out.
But I got to say, I really admire you, Marty.
For what?
You know, so many of these players today going with the full Clue look, and you joining in, no sleeves today. It's amazing. It is just beautiful.
See the sarcasm that emanates from his mouth when he comes in there.
What? I'm painting the picture for people. That's what you do. That's your job. They can't see in here, so they can't see that you don't have sleeves on. The guns are out.
2 shirts on.
The great thing about it is, this man, no tan line.
What?
You can't tell where the shirts usually wear. It's full tan from the top of the shoulder down to the fingertips, same color. This is beautiful.
That out because I was going to say I can't remember the last time you see me with my underwear on.
That would be in the wheelbarrow.
I saw it one spring training right by the pool.
Okay.
Those are some short shorts.
There's a swing and a miss, and mercifully this inning is over with a strikeout. The best rooftop in Cincinnati, Top of the Park, is a must-see. Book your Reds package now and receive 2 vouchers for a Reds game. Go to residenceinCincinnatiDowntown.com. Bottom of the second about to unfold. Trevor Bauer dodging a bullet in the bottom of the first inning. We'll start this inning off against shortstop Jose Iglesias. And the right-hander brings it on up there, and this is with a breaking ball inside, ball 1. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Had 1 walk in the first, and that went to Senzel to begin the inning.
Well, Bauer is not sharp yet. You and I were talking about this during the break. You better get him early.
He swings and sends a fly ball back into center field. That ball is going to be caught. Another big-time play made in center field. This one by Greg Allen to rob Iglesias of extra base hit.
Mercado yesterday, Allen today.
Yep.
Wow. All right, folks, it is time for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game. That was a spectacular guess.
Yes, it was.
Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. All of this brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters.
Here's Jose Peraza and a strike to him.
Cleveland,
Cleveland,
as we know, will be hosting its 6th All-Star game on Tuesday. Your question, in what year did Cleveland play host to the Midsummer Classic for the first time? Was it A, 1935, B, 1943, or C, 1949?
what part of this answer do you not understand? I don't know.
No, that's my line.
Here's a high pop-up first base side. Chasing is Santana with a play, and he makes it 2 out. So 1935, 1943.
Or 1949. The way we do this is you give me the letter, A, B, or C.
You're so bad. I am going to say, this may be a temporary guess, but I'm going to take a stab at this and say 1943.
So you're going to go with B.
Yes, I am.
I like that.
Call a strike on Kyle Farmer.
Only because majority of the time it's B anyway. That's how I would look at it.
We know how you look at it.
I know you do.
Yes. Went around on that pitch, 0-2.
Well, think about it.
I will.
8th inning's coming up here shortly.
I appreciate it.
Or we can wait till we get to Colorado, however you want to do it.
Maybe next Sunday.
Give you the whole All-Star break to think about.
That'd be big. I won't be any better off then than I am now. 43. 0-2 pitch. And he swings at a curveball in the dirt. And picked up by Perez, who tags Farm.
Ballpark, the final game for the Reds before the All-Star break. And the final game of this Ohio Cup. Tyler Mahle, he has faced 8 batters thus far, 5 in the first, 3 in the second when he retired the side in order, 2 via the strikeout. And now he'll get Trevor Bauer. His counterpart on the mound for the Indians steps to the plate with a bat in his hand, which has got to be an unfamiliar sight. And there's a strike over the outside corner. Bauer seemed to be stepping towards the third base bag as that pitch came to the plate. And another fastball down and away, and again, that front foot of Bauer stepping towards Eugenio Suarez. No balls and 2 strikes. And Mahle back to the dish. And a check swing, swing and a miss, strike 3. Mahle has now struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced. 1 down, and we go back to the top of the order. Here's Francisco Lindor. Lindor has seen 1 pitch on this afternoon, and he popped it up to who was then playing left field, Jesse Winker. Winker now in center, of course. Peraza in left, and Derek Dietrich playing at second base. You joined us late. Carlos Santana, a 2-out double off the right center field wall, and as Nick Senzel went to leap into the air, got his foot caught on the padding and evidently hurt his ankle. Here is a trickler back up the middle for Lindor, and he hit it where they weren't. The Reds had the shortstop Iglesias playing on the shortstop side, really to the pull side behind second base. Dietrich was well around towards Votto on the right side, and that ball just trickled right up the middle for a base hit. So Lindor aboard. And here's Greg Allen. Lindor always a threat to steal. Got 13 on the year. He's only been caught 1 time. Allen has already made his presence known here in this ball game. on a phenomenal play in center field in the top of this, or in the bottom of the second inning, on a line drive off the bat of Jose Iglesias. A sprawling leap into the air, over the shoulder catch, and went tumbling right into the Indians bullpen out in left center field. 0-1 from Malley. Fouled to the left side, out of play. Fastball right in on the hands of Allen. Four of the first 5 batters in this Indians lineup switch hitters. Lindor, Allen, Santana, that's 1, 2, 3. And then you've got Jose Ramirez, who hits in the number 5 spot. Picked to first base, sends Lindor scrambling back to the bag. Really only a couple of strictly right-handed batters in the Indians lineup here today against Tyler Malley. That would be Roberto Perez and the pitcher, Trevor Bauer. Allen can run a bit, and so can Lindor. So a double play will have to be hit sharply right at an infielder. And even at that point, you'll have to turn it over quickly as that pitch misses off the outside corner. A changeup from Malley puts the count at a ball and 2 strikes here to Greg Allen. Carlos Santana waiting on deck, and he has been hotter than you can imagine at this point in time. He's got to think that's a beach ball coming to the plate when Santana steps up there. That's how good he's seeing the ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count here to Allen. And the pitch. And that's going to miss just off the outside corner. Almost a little bit of a flinch from home plate umpire David Rackley. You could see that back start to come up. As you see most umpires, they'll raise up, especially with 2 strikes, quickly for the punch out. Start it up and just stop. Counted 2-2. Malley long hold back to the plate, and this is popped up foul back behind home plate, and the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Farmer catching today. Second start behind the plate for Kyle Farmer here in 2019. The pitch. And that's going to miss down and in. A breaking ball down into the dirt. A nice stop by Farmer. Now a full count here to Greg Allen. And a 169 batter with Santana on deck. You do not want to walk this guy. You got to make him swing the bat. We'll see if Lindor is running here, and he is not. And it is a ground ball to the right side. That's a base hit into right field. About a 45 hopper, but it gets through the infield. And now back-to-back singles, and neither one of those balls were hit hard at all. A little trickler up the middle, and then that ball to the left of Dietrich. So many times you see where players are positioned perfectly, and the batter hits it hard right at them. Those are the beneficial moments if you're on the mound. Of course, when you're not in the perfect spot and they hit those little weak ground balls, those are the ones you remember. And right now, Malley going to have to work out of a bit of trouble here with 1 out in the 3rd as Santana steps to the plate. First and second, 1 out for the Indians. The pitch. And a fastball over the inside corner right at the top of the strike zone. Santana has a few words for David Rackley after that call. Santana was bailing out of the way. I think he thought that ball was way inside, and it just happened to catch the top of the strike zone. So many times for hitters, when they're leaning out over the plate, that ball inside looks like it's way inside. Changeup way outside here from Malley, and that'll even the count at a ball and a strike. Santana, not only big power, and he's hit for a great average this year, knocking on the door of the 300. Actually, he's right at 300 after the double back in the first inning. He's got a great eye as well. And he takes that one upstairs, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. For quite a few years, as Santana came through the Indians organization, we saw him. It was not about hitting for average. He hit a lot of home runs, but he drew a lot of walks, which gave him a great on-base percentage as well. 2-1. And a backdoor breaking ball misses off the outside corner, and it's now a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Good hitter, ahead in the count. Got to make a pitch here. And these are the toughest ones. To the plate. And that's going to miss inside. That'll load the bases. So Lindor on to third base. Allen at second. Quite a bit of speed in those two gentlemen. And Santana at first base. And now pitching coach Derek Johnson will make the trek to the mound as the cleanup batter Jason Kipnis for the Indians steps to the plate. Kipnis only a .235 batting average, 32 RBIs. But he worked a walk in his first at bat, and no place to put him this time around. So both Farmer and Malley listening intently to the information Derek Johnson delivers at this point in time. Johnson with a little pat on the back for Malley. And Malley's got a tough row to hoe here to get out of this inning. Iglesias playing a bit on the pull side at shortstop. Not an overshift by any stretch of the imagination. He's playing right behind Allen as he takes his lead at second base. The pitch, and that's going to miss upstairs, 1-0. Kipnis chased a pitch up in the strike zone in his first at bat, and then he laid off the rest of them, drawing the walk. Indians trying to get on the board first here on this afternoon, and that pitch is going to miss inside. And it's 2-0. So back-to-back fastballs from Malley just above the top of the strike zone. Farmer back through the signs. Malley set at the belt. Here he comes. And there's a strike over the outside corner. I wasn't sure he was going to get that pitch. Good fastball down and away from Kipnis. Or could you use a pop-up or a ground ball right at an infielder here? 2-1 from Malley. And that's going to miss up and in. And it's 3-1. Malley really picking the edges. And another 3-1 count to an Indian batter. And this one fouled straight back. Fastball right at the top of the strike zone. A lot of fastballs in this at bat for Kipnis. 3-2 pitch coming. And he pops that one up, foul into the seats down the left field line, out of play. And again, that was a fastball up in the strike zone. And that's where Malley pitches for the most part. And in this day and age, It's not a bad thing as long as it's not at the belt. Another 3-2 pitch. Kipnis readies at the dish. Here it is. Swing and a miss, and he got him on a breaking ball right over the inside corner, and that just flat fooled the veteran Jason Kipnis. 2 down. Big pitch for Tyler Mahle. After falling well behind in the count, he drops a breaking ball on the inside corner. 2 down. Here's Jose Ramirez. Grounded to Votto in his first at bat. And he takes the fastball up and in, 1-0. Mahle trying to work the very top of the strike zone, and when he misses, it is just above the zone or maybe a little bit in. 1-0 pitch coming. Hammered foul down the right field line. That's off the facade of the third deck. Way inside, and Ramirez was spinning. May have caught that one on the label of the bat as he asked for a new bat. He has it, and he will head on back to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike count. That has been the story on Ramirez this year. He is just way out in front of everything, and the batting average has showed that his timing is off. A .217 batter coming into today, and only 7 home runs on the year. There's no doubt there is some power in that swing for Ramirez. We have seen it in years past. Pitch, and that hits the outside corner. A changeup down and away, and Ramirez can't believe it. Throws the left hand up, looks skyward. When you're hitting .217, it feels like everything's going against you. And Mahle's hoping to make it stay that way. He's got another pitch to make. Bases still loaded, a 1-2 pitch coming. Here we go. Just a bit high, and Ramirez lays off a fastball right at the very top of the strike zone. Suarez is playing way over in the shortstop spot with Iglesias, Dietrich, and Votto on the right field side of second. So the runner, Francisco Lindor, taking as much of a liberty in his lead at third base as he possibly can. 2-2. And that's up and away, and we've gone to a 3-2 count. Runners will be off to the races here. Mahle with another big pitch to make. Can he do it here? Here he comes. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Ramirez on a 3-2 changeup. Goes to 3-2 with Kipnis. Got him. Tyler Mahle to lead the bottom of 3 off as Trevor Bauer led off the top of this inning. And a first pitch strike, a fastball down and away from the Reds right-hander. It'll be Mahle, Derek Dietrich, who is in the on-deck circle, who came on for Nick Senzel. And here's a fly ball into deep right field, back to the track, and catching it just shy of the wall is Tyler Naquin. 1 down. A big 15th out today. A strikeout of Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded is brought to you by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at Geico.com. Geico's so easy, a caveman can do it. 1 down for Bauer, and now Dietrich with his first at-bat of the ball game. Dietrich did not start. Came on to play second. Peraza, who was at second, now playing left. Winker, who was in left, now in center. And a breaking ball spins way up and out of the strike zone, 1-0. Bauer, the rock back, the kick, and the breaking ball misses down and in here. 2-0 count here to Dietrich. The pitch. And a breaking ball again, and that will catch the inside corner. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Foul back behind home plate, a 95-mile-an-hour heater right at the top of the strike zone. $18 homers and 40 RBIs for Derek Dietrich. And he fouls this one off his front foot as it trickles down the first base line. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bauer rocks back, turns it loose, and he misses well above the strike zone here to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen quite a few of the full count mark from both pitchers here early in this ball game. Both Mahle and now Bauer. Swing and a miss. Got him on a fastball down and away. 2 down. There always seems to be an extra gear for Trevor Bauer when he has to have it. That's not something you can teach. Breaking ball right on the inside corner here to Votto. Votto spreading out at the plate, waiting on Bauer. And there's a backdoor breaking ball. That'll catch the outside corner and high. No ball, 2-strike count. Well, he threw all breaking balls to Dietrich until he got ahead in the count, and then he came with a fastball. And he comes with a changeup here to Votto that misses down into the dirt. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Votto flied out to Jake Bauers in his first at bat. Jake Bauers playing left field today with Trevor Bauer on the mound. A fastball way inside. Two count. Votto back into the box as he readies at the plate. Bauer with the drop step, the pitch. Fly ball, shallow left center field. Allen coming on. He's got it. Tyler Mahle, he has already put 60 pitches on the board through the first 3 innings, so he could really use a quick inning here. 3 up, 3 down in the second. And he will face those same batters, Bowers, Perez, and Tyler Naquin here in the 4th inning. A long third inning for Tyler Mahle. He had back-to-back strikeouts with the bases loaded. First pitch breaking ball that will hit the outside corner here to the left-handed hitting Bowers for strike 1. Mahle turns it loose, and he misses down and away with a changeup. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Swing and a miss. Bowers way out in front of a breaking ball. Bowers has 10 home runs and 11 doubles, hitting at a respectable .241 clip. And he has had a lot of strikeouts, and he has already tallied one of those here today. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Malley back to the dish. And this one lifted high into the air into center field. Winker has it measured. He'll make the catch, and there's one down. It is a hot, muggy day here in Cincinnati. And at the moment, there is no breeze, no air even moving here at the ballpark. Roberto Perez, boy, he had a day yesterday. First 3 at-bats were singles. His 4th at-bat was a 2-run homer. And that started a barrage of runs for the Indians against the Reds bullpen. The 2-2 ball game until that 2-run home run by Roberto Perez in the 8th. And he takes that pitch right on the outside corner, and he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Popped up into foul territory in his first at bat as Tyler Malley ran it down over in front of the Reds dugout, and that's a swing and a miss. And Perez down on 3 pitches, strikeout, 2 down. Now 6 strikeouts for Malley on the afternoon. The 2 biggest ones thus far in this ball game were of Kipnis and Ramirez with the bases loaded. And that finished up the bottom or the top of the 3rd inning. Indians had their best chance to score, best chance for either club, and unable to do so. Strike over the outside corner, looked like a backdoor breaking ball here to Tyler Naquin. Naquin, strikeout victim his first time up. 2 down here in the 4th. No score in this ball game. And this one is hit high and deep to right, and it is 1-0 Indians. Into the sun deck in right field, and that was a no-doubter. A fastball down and in, and Naquin hammered it. His 7th home run of the year, and the Indians have taken the lead. Like Malley was trying to cut that fastball in, and it just spins right on the inside part of the plate. And here's a base hit into right field for Trevor Bauer. So the Indians pitcher is aboard. And now we go back to the top of the order, Francisco Lindor. 2 quick outs for Malley, and then the home run by Naquin, and now a single into right field by the pitcher Bauer. And Lindor will step to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon, flied to left, and singled in his last at bat. Out of the stretch, swing and a miss. Fastball up and away. Quite a few dark clouds overhead as it has darkened up things a bit here at the ballpark as that pitch fouled off the end of the bat. A changeup down and away from Lindor. Now ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Reds righty set at the belt. Back to the plate. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Lindor on 3 pitches. Seventh strikeout come to the plate. It'll be Suarez, Puig, and Jesse Winker. 3, 4, and 5 here in the Reds order. Today's Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge contestant, well, that is Carol Pope from Union, Kentucky. And if a home run hit by a Reds player during this afternoon's game hits the Toyota sign that's located out in right center field between the PNC Power Stacks, well, Carol, you'll win a brand new 2019 Tundra, all courtesy of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Carol Pope from Union, Kentucky. Good luck. Suarez, a strikeout victim the first go-around, and he will step back in for the second time here on this afternoon against the right-hander, Trevor Bauer. Reds were only able to put 5 hits on the board yesterday, only 1 hit thus far through the first 11 batters here on this afternoon against the right-hander Bauer. He comes to the plate, and a breaking ball over the inside corner. That's a strike. Suarez started and stopped. The 0-1. And another breaking ball, and that catches the inside corner again, almost in the same spot. No balls and 2 strikes as Perez sets away. Slider down and away. 1-2 count now to Suarez. Long look in this time by Bauer, the pitch. And a breaking ball down and away, and Suarez lays off of it. So 4 consecutive breaking balls here to Eugenio Suarez. And Bauer will come calling again. Fastball up and away, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the first 2 pitches from Trevor Bauer were breaking balls on the inside corner. 2 pitches away, both of those breaking balls followed. They were well off the outside corner, trying to get Suarez to chase. He did not. So he tries him with a high fastball, and now the 3-2. And he walked him. So 4 consecutive out of the zone after being ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Suarez is aboard, and here's Yasiel Puig. Puig with a single into right field back in the first inning. A low fastball down and away on the first pitch he saw from Bauer. And now Puig will dig himself a foothold in the batter's box on the right side as he readies for his second at-bat of the afternoon. Santana will hold Suarez at first. No shift for Puig at the plate. Now Yasiel will step out of the batter's box after he calls timeout. And now he's back in. Pitch to the plate. Popped up, right side, foul territory, long run, Santana. He's got it. 1 down. So another first pitch swing by Puig. This time he pops it up over towards the Reds dugout, almost into the on-deck circle, but Santana, a long run, able to make the catch. And 1 down for Jesse Winker. Winker lined out to the second baseman Kipnis to end the first inning. There have been quite a few at-bats, especially early in the season, where Winker hit the ball right on the nose and just a dead line out to the center fielder or the left fielder. And he's already 0 for 1 here today, and he hit that one on a line. And he hits this on a line into left field, and that's going to be caught. So Winker has hit the ball hard both times at the plate this afternoon. He's got nothing to show for it. 2 down. That's got to be a little frustrating. Actually, probably a whole lot of frustrating. Here's Jose Iglesias. No better play could have been made than what was made on Iglesias in his first at bat as he lined a shot towards the bullpen, the Indians' bullpen, that is, in left center field. Greg Allen goes all the way back to the wall, diving onto the warning track, sliding into the netting in front of the bullpen for the catch. And he swings and misses at a fastball here, strike one. 1-0 Indians, courtesy of the Tyler Naquin home run. Bauer at the belt, Suarez with his lead at first base. Breaking ball, strike two. He drops that one right at the top of the strike zone. No ball, 2-strike count. More fastball curveball today from Bauer than we saw in his last start. He threw more sliders in the last start. And a tapper towards the third base side. It will roll foul. Count stays, no balls and 2 strikes. Bauer threw the ball awfully well in the game in Cleveland with the Reds and the Indians hooking up. Bauer 7 2/3 of 1-run baseball in that ball game. No ball, 2-strike count here to Iglesias. Bauer the set and back to the plate. Popped up right side, shallow right field along the line. Kipnis makes the catch. Just
live with MLB At Bat Live. Follow the action with game tracking and video highlights along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. It's your #1 app for the Cincinnati Reds. 1-0 ball game as we take it on into round number 5. Here's Greg Allen, who owns one of the 5 hits that the Indians have had so far today off of Tyler Mahle. Single back in the third. Mahle going to work. And the first pitch in there for a call strike. Mahle has struck out 7. He has walked 2. And, of course, the only run allowed was a home run Naquin got him for in the 4th inning, his 7th of the season. That pitch is a swing at a miss by Allen. The count's 0-2. Pitch count now up to 77 for Tyler Mahle. And the strike 2 pitch, way high for a ball. Allen to be followed by Santana, 2-2. And then it'll be Jason Kipnis again. So the Indians, like everybody else, will have 4 days off, and they won't get back at it again until Friday night, and that'll be the beginning of the first of 13. Base hit into right center field. That ball was scorched. And quickly up with the ball, Jesse Winker. So a 6th hit of the day off of Tyler Mahle, and that's a leadoff single by Greg Allen, bringing to the plate Santana, who in his 2 previous at-bats have had a double and has drawn a base on balls. It won't take long. The Indians jump right into it by opening the so-called second half against the Minnesota Twins, and that will be the beginning of a long homestand for the Indians, and a homestand that they can really make some hay on, especially if they're able to win 2 out of the 3 games, or of course their optimum situation would be to win all 3. Swing and a miss by Santana, because after that series they've got the Tigers and the Royals coming in, 4 with Detroit and 3 with Kansas City before they go back on the road again. So that is going to be a big first homestand after the break. 1 ball, 1 strike on Santana. A long look in. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning in this game. He pauses and pitches, and that one stays off the plate, and the count's 2-1. Face 4 batters, face 5 batters in the first. Actually, 1, 2, 3 second. Got the side out in the second, but then face 6 batters in the third, 5 batters in the fourth, and now has given up a leadoff single to Greg Allen in the fifth. And now is behind 3 balls and 1 strike on Carlos Santana.
Well, it is obvious to me that Tyler Mahle has really gotten towards the end of where he's going to be in this ballgame. You've thrown 83 pitches, and he really threw the first 4 innings on a very hot and humid day. That bullpen may be needing to get up and get ready.
Well, the first 2 batters have reached. He goes ball 4 to Santana, giving up his 3rd walk of the game. And I know David Bell's got to be concerned about this game getting out of hand quickly, especially when you're facing a guy like Trevor Bauer, who through 4 innings has given you all of 1 hit. And now catcher Kyle Farmer is out at the mound after a hit by Allen and a 5-pitch walk.
I believe I'd take him out right now.
I concur 100%. That conversation was just to buy some time, I would think. And now Farmer, he could crawl to the plate faster than he can walk at the pace he's going right now. But he's finally back there, and now David Bell is up and out of his seat, and he's on his way up the stairwell, and that's going to mean a pitching change coming up right now for the Redlegs. Not the best of final starts before the break for Tyler Mahle, even though he leaves with only a 1-0 deficit. And David Bell has signaled for the bullpen. So 4+ innings for the Reds right-hander. And
1-1 before you did. And that call goes to Jared Hughes. And Hughes will face the left-handed hitting Kipnis, looking for a double play ball in the worst way.
Kipnis has hit into only 4 all year long. He's walked today and has also struck out. And Hughes bluffs a throw back towards second just to let Greg Allen know that he knows he's back there. And now the right-hander readies himself on the mound again. And he pitches, and that's a swing and a foul ball. You're listening today on your car or truck radio. Please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? We're going to take a look at our Cincinnati First Financial Bank scoreboard. Scoreboard stumper brought to you by First Financial Bank. Go beyond banking by putting you first. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. And he squares to bunt, almost got hit with a pitch. Since 2000, gentlemen, 4 players have made the All-Star team as a member of the Reds and also made an All-Star game for a different team earlier in their career. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Who might they be? Since 2004, players have made the All-Star game as a member of the Reds and made the All-Star game for a different team earlier in their career. Here's a bunt, third base side. Suarez will deliver the throw on to first. And they play baseball the way it's supposed to be played right there. Don't disdain the bunt and feel like we can't give up outs by a regular player. They just did, and they moved them into second and third with 1 out on a good bunt by Jason Kipnis.
Who is hitting in the cleanup spot.
Correct.
And put down a perfect bunt.
That's right.
My first answer would be the man who was announced as an All-Star today. That would be Sonny Gray.
And that would be absolutely correct.
Now I got a little work.
These are interesting. One of them is as clear as the nose on your face. First pitch taken for a ball. Who'd you say? Correct.
Who'd he say?
Ken Griffey Jr. Now, the next 2.
A little work to do.
A little bit of work to do. The 1-0 to Jose Ramirez. And that's a liner foul to left. The ball to strike.
So this player was an All-Star before he came to the Reds and then made the All-Star team as a Red.
That is a great big old bingo. That would be correct.
Good job.
Yeah, you're cheating back there. You said that with too much assertiveness, because you just looked it up.
I love group effort.
It is good, isn't it?
I do. That makes me feel really.
Here's a pitch, and that's a breaking ball off the plate. So you got Sonny Gray, Tommy Thrall got Ken Griffey Jr., and you'd got Scott Rowland. There is one remaining. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Since 2000.
Fly ball center. Caught by Winker. Tagging at third and scoring is Allen. And that gets a run in. That's what a sacrifice bunt will do for you. It's a 2-0 ball game now, and a line out to center off the bat of Ramirez. And the Reds trail by 2. Staying at second is Santana. And the 2-out bat will be Jake Bowers.
Pretty good play by Winker. He was playing on the right field side of the center field mark. And with a left-hander hitting into the left center field gap, that ball has a tendency to tail away from you, and Winker able to get there quickly, make the catch. That's a sacrifice fly either way, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
So now Jake Bowers, a strikeout and a flyout, has been the bat story for the Indians left fielder today. I'll give you a little clue on the guy.
Great with you.
Drive center field, hit deep, hit way deep, hit gone.
Oh, boy.
2-run homer to straightaway center field by Jake Bowers. His 11th homer of the season, and this has become a big inning for the Indians. They now have a 4-0 lead. Here's Roberto Perez, who has gone 0 for 2 today. And, boy, have the Indians given Trevor Bauer some breathing room.
Waiting on my hint.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to do that. I'll give you 2 hints. Breaking ball, ball one. This guy's was a pitcher. He's also a guy that I got into a shouting match with one day at the visiting clubhouse in Wrigley Field. When he jumped me in front of the whole club, and I said, hey, this conversation has no right being in here in front of everybody. And he continued to scream at me, and he said, you do your job. I said, no, damn it, you do your job. And you ain't doing a very good job of it right now. And I turned around and walked out. He's a big one, too. 1-1 pitch. Blowing away a ball. I'm going to tell you the clubs he played for. That's all I can do for him. He played for the Rangers and the Brewers. Made the All-Star team with the Brewers in 2004. Made the All-Star team. No, he made the All-Star team with the Rangers in 04, the Brewers in 07, and the Reds in 09. And he was, yes, exactly right, Jid. And when he was on top of his game, he was pretty good. But toward the end of his career with the Reds, he was not so good. Hence the shouting. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. A big Raza Farmer, and no doubt a pinch hitter for Jared Hughes. Close the book on Tyler Malley. 4+ innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Reds have had all of 1 hit today, and that was a single by Yasiel Puig back in the first inning. So we close the book on the scoreboard stumper. Since 2004, players have made the All-Star game as a member of the Reds and made the All-Star game for a different team earlier in their career. Ken Griffey Jr. with the Mariners and the Reds, and he was an All-Star with the Mariners from 1990 through 1999, every year. And then was an All-Star with the Reds in 2000, 2004, and 2007. Scott Rowland, 2002 with the Phillies, 2003 with the Cardinals, and then a Reds All-Star in 2010 and 11. Prior to that, as a Cardinal, he was an All-Star 2003, 4, 5, and 6. And then was an All-Star with the Reds in 2010 and 11. Francisco Cordero, The 2-0 pitch swung on, hit up the middle, and a dive. It's off the tip end of Lindor's glove, picked up in shallow center by Greg Allen, and that is a leadoff single by Jose Peraza. Cordero is an all-star with the Rangers of 04 and with the Brewers of 07 and with the Reds in 2009. And Sonny Gray, as Jeff mentioned, he was an all-star with the Oakland A's in 2015 and just yesterday announced as a member of the National League All-Star pitching staff here in 2019. Second hit of the game. Peraza is on with a leadoff single. Here's Kyle Farmer, who struck out in the second. And that's up and in for a ball. Three strikeouts so far today for Trevor Bauer. He's walked 2. Reds had a shot in the first inning, swinging a foul, and that has been it. Fans, today at Mike Castrucci Ford Lincoln or Chevy, when you purchase a new vehicle, you'll receive 2 complimentary Reds Pick 6 ticket packages. That is 12 total Reds tickets. This deal only available today at Mike Castrucci in Milford and also in Alexandria. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reds need a big inning to climb back in this one. Swing and a foul. Did you ever yell at me when you were a player?
Never. I didn't yell at anybody.
I remember.
Unless they were a hitter.
And you yelled at them?
I yelled at them.
Did you really?
If you were a hitter, I wasn't big on you.
What would you yell at? What'd you say?
Sit down. Get in the box. Let's go.
That's a strikeout swing, and he saw a steady diet of breaking balls, and he couldn't hit them.
But I had to keep that edge. That was a personal thing. Maybe a little man's deal, but.
Did you ever have any of them yell back at you?
Yeah. I'd zip that baby right up under their neck. I've always got the ball. So.
That's correct.
You talk all you want, unless you want to come out there.
At the end of the day, you're throwing it.
I didn't have any problem with you coming out there either.
Josh Van Meter is pinch hitting for Jared Hughes. Pitch is high for a ball. Four runs, 7 hits for Cleveland, no runs, and a couple of hits for Cincinnati. That's inside. It's a 2-ball, no strike count on Van Meter, a left-hand batter.
Of course, there are times you're pitching out of the bullpen. Your adrenaline is worked up so much, you don't even remember who you face when the game's over.
I believe that.
You're just
I believe
it's kind of an out-of-body experience still.
A 2-0 pitch coming from Bauer to Van Meter. And it's in the air to left center field, chasing after it and not being able to get it. It's off the wall, and they're going to bring the runner around. Here comes a throw from the shortstop over his head. The slide upends the catcher. Peraza came in on Roberto Perez, and on to third base goes Josh Van Meter. It's a 4-1 ball game.
If Jose Ramirez does not catch that bad throw from Bauer to third, Van Meter could have walked home because the left fielder had already dove into the left center field gap.
And Perez is down in a seated position behind home plate. He was upended by the slide of Jose Peraza, and they are checking him out. It looks like his right knee or right leg.
Well, as Peraza slid in, the plant foot, the right foot, as you mentioned, of Perez was on the ground when he came down. And right as he came down, all of his weight was on that right foot, and that is where the spike of Peraza caught him.
Score that an RBI double for Josh Van Meter charged a throwing error on Francisco Lindor that enables him to go to third. And now they're still checking out Roberto Perez. Manager Terry Francona's out there along with the Indians trainer. And momentarily it'll be Derek Dietrich up there with one out. And a potential second run of the inning standing down at third base. Now Francona heading on back to the third base dugout. Perez walking off the discomfort. And we're going to get back at it now. Dietrich has struck out 4 straight trips to the plate. He fanned 3 times yesterday and punched out his first time up today, so his luck's got to change sooner or later. And now they'll allow a pitch or two from Trevor Bauer to Perez to make sure he is okay. Dietrich stands in. The Reds can get that run home. They will have chopped the 4-run deficit in half. $18 home runs, 40 runs batted in, but the home runs have been very few and very far between of late, as have the runs batted in. So Bauer stretches on the mound and delivers. And that's way high, ball 1. Bauer's pitch count only 68. So he has been rather pitch conservative on a very hot, humid day here in Cincinnati. He checks Van Meter at third, pitches, and that's a hit back. That is a specialty, if you will. That is a specialty of Derek Dietrich's. He's hit by the pitch. He's more than happy to trot on down to first base and bring up Joey Votto. That's the 17th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. And he went into play today tied with Washington's Victor Robles for the most in the major leagues. And as far as a career is concerned, it's the 110th time he's been hit. So now Votto, who has hit the ball in the air twice, and both times routinely, one to left and one to center. And his appearance at the plate with runners at first and third and one away prompts a meeting involving Perez and second baseman Jason Kipnis at the mound with Trevor Bauer. Is over. Joey exchanging comments with Perez. And Votto, a .289 batter with runners in scoring position, stands in. So Van Meter at third, Dietrich at first, 1 out, 1 in. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Votto in his career has a home run off Trevor Bauer. That pitch a strike. Trying to extend a 5-game hitting streak, and right now it would be about as good a time as any to do just that. Indians with a run in the 4th on a Tyler Naquin home run. 3 in the top of this 5th inning, 2 of them on a home run by Jake Bowers, and the Reds have come back on a pinch hit double. And advancing to third on the play by Josh Van Meter. Dietrich gets hit by a pitch. And that one a breaking ball that drops in for strike 2 call.
Bauer's done that all day. Early in the count, breaking balls for strikes. And then that gives him some leeway to expand either with a breaking ball in the dirt or the fastball well up and out of the strike zone.
Joey, a big at-bat here. Perez hanging a sign. Bauer turns it loose. Votto takes up and in. No, he didn't. He takes strike 3. And he offers no argument at all on the call by plate umpire David Rackley. So not a good at-bat at all there. And now if the Reds are going to score, it's going to be up to Eugenio Suarez with 2 out. Two previous at-bats, he has struck out and drawn a base on balls. So Bauer has to be, I would think, breathing a little bit easier at the moment. One swing of this man's bat could make it a 4-4 game, as was the case with Joey Votto, but he didn't swing the bat. And now Suarez stands in, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Boy, he has been money in the bank with that pitch today.
He is. He's pitched almost every batter that's come to the plate. Soft early with that curveball, and then here he comes with a heater.
The boy's pitching backwards, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Now the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. 97-mile-an-hour fastball right there.
By far the highest velocity on the afternoon for Trevor Bauer.
So the former UCLA Bruin is in a driver's seat right now. And he starts around and checked in time. 2-2, or 1-2 the count. There's that breaking ball off the plate after getting ahead in the count. At that time, he didn't get Suarez to chase. Two and two. Now, the last 2 days, we once again have seen the gross inconsistency of this offense. I mean, here they are playing their 87th game of the season. And as far as consistently attacking the ball over a prolonged period of time, it simply has not happened. There is strike 3 called on the outside edge, and the inning is over. The Reds get a run, but they lead 2.
The Reds bullpen for the 27th time. That would be right-hander Robert Stevenson. Stevenson with a 2-1 record, a 3.77 ERA. And Stevenson will go to work here against the bottom of the Indians' order in this 4-1 ball game.
And Jose Peraza, who began the game at second, moved to left. He is back now at second base. And Josh Van Meter, who had the RBI pinch hit double in the last inning, remains in the game to play left field. It'll be Tyler Naquin to start off the 6th inning for the Tribe. He got the scoring underway back in the 4th inning with a home run to right. Stevenson stretches on the mound, and he works. And Naquin takes ball 1 that gets off the glove and goes all the way back to the screen. The numbers on Jared Hughes: 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run with a strikeout. Now the 1-0 pitch. And they almost hit him with that pitch. The count's 2-0. I want to publicly thank Rick Stowe and his brother Mark and all the young men that work down in the Reds clubhouse. They bestowed upon me something that I am very appreciative of before the game today, and that is a shirt emblematic of now I'm a honorary member of the Reds clubhouse staff, which means I can wash jocks and clean shoes and all sorts of things that those young men do in that clubhouse, and do so very, very well. And they wanted Bronson Arroyo to be there, and Bronson's in town, was down at the clubhouse today, so I proudly display a clubhouse shirt with the Reds logo on the left breast and my name on the right side. And I cannot tell Rick and Mark and all those guys how much I appreciate what they did. It was very kind. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Naquin. Swing and a miss.
Now, when we come back from Chicago, I would like for you to be the one that gets my bag off the truck. I want you to get that big bad boy.
I developed 13 hernias if I picked that thing up. That's the heaviest bag I've ever seen in my life.
It's a heavy one.
Here's a high pop-up on the infield, and the shortstop will play it, and he does. There's one out. People have no idea. Those of you listening, if you think you've lifted a heavy suitcase, you have no idea. Believe me. It's one of these especially deep suitcases.
It's square.
For a lot, and it's square, which I've never seen before.
To me, expendable.
It is unbelievable how much stuff is in that thing. 1 ball and no strikes on a breaking ball in the dirt to Trevor Bauer.
You could get a body in there.
There are those who have accused you of such a thing.
No.
That is one heavy suitcase, boy. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. So when you fly commercially, you just go ahead and pay whatever the extra charge is for a grossly overweight suitcase.
Yeah. I mean, you get a certain amount of weight, but not that much
Not
weight.
that one, no. Swing and a foul. I'll tell Rick, let me climb up in the truck.
Make sure I got my camera ready.
I told Rick today when I got the shirt, I said, well, you know, Amanda and I are going to go out to spring training for a couple of weeks. We rented a house out in Goodyear. Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's taken for a strike. So there will be a day, hopefully, when we're out there that I can stand around that table outside the clubhouse along with Bronson and whether it be Mort or whoever it might be, 2-2 pitch, and that's strike 3 call. And I'll be out there cleaning shoes. If you want me to polish your shoes, I'll do that.
No, I'm good.
I'll polish Tommy's because I'll have to get a Hershey bar. Trevor Bauer strikes out looking. 2 out in the inning.
You're bad.
I know. Francisco Lindor is 1 for 3. Two out, bases empty. That's a strike. Fans no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find this favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. Pops him up and out of play behind the plate.
You know, that is a nice visual of polishing a shoe with a Hershey bar. I got a little lightheaded saying that.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit red now, and that vessel's starting to pop. That's when we get worried about you.
Get a little tickled.
And you start laughing. It's the greatest. It's the greatest visual in the world.
I'm a true red.
When you lose your control and you just laugh uproariously, you get blood red, and we've worried sometime.
I am too. I can feel the pressure up in my skull.
0-2 on Lindor. Full foul. Some guy wrote on Twitter today, you made that comment yesterday, and I said, I just said that. And you said, I'm sorry. I said, that's okay. And the guy said, we're going to miss this next year. It's funny. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's a rocket to right, but it's a foul ball. Line drive, and that baby rattles around on those plastic seats like a pinball. 0-2 and holding on the 4-time All-Star, Francisco Lindor.
Well, he generates a lot of power from that little body. He's not
does.
little, but still.
Stevenson back to the plate in the dirt. 4-1 ball game. Indians have the lead. They're trying to sweep the 2-game series. The Reds came into this series yesterday with a 3-game winning streak. The Indians 1 to stretch theirs to 5, and at the moment, they are sitting pretty, trying to close out the pregame break with 6 in a row. Here's a very high pop-up, but it'll climb out of here. Foul to right. $14 home runs and 32 RBIs coming off of a 2-home-run day here yesterday. Francisco Lindor. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Got a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Bobby Stevenson. Thursday, July 18th. First 20,000 fans will receive a Yasiel Puig bobblehead presented by PNC Bank. For tickets, visit Reds.com/150. It is Puig to lead things off here in the home 6th. Reds staring at a 3-run deficit. He takes ball 1. Still only 79 pitches today for Trevor Bauer. Swing and a miss. Reds on Radio and Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network welcome Reds on Radio affiliate WHIZ AM 1240 from Zanesville, Ohio for the game today. For endless things to do all year long, stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. Swing and a miss, came up and in with a fastball, and Puig could not catch up to it.
Well, when you're able to throw your breaking ball for a strike, as Bauer's done today, that fastball must look like he's shooting it out of a bazooka.
Ground ball hit to third, backhanded deep behind the bag by Ramirez. The throw not in time.
Good hustle.
Could not get a whole lot on that throw, and Puig going hard down the line, easily beat it out for an infield base hit.
All right, folks, it is Ask Marty time. This is where we ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, always presented by CBTS. And today's question comes from Strine Sports.
We hear from Strine Sports all the time.
We do, and that's good.
That is. Real fan.
What has been some of your favorite Reds or non-Reds related promotions or giveaways that you have seen?
Well, one of the promotions that immediately come to mind is one that has long since fallen by the wayside. It was an event that attracted 45 to 50,000 every year when it was done at Riverfront Stadium, and that was Farmers Night. I still have a vivid memory of my radio partner sitting on a stool milking a cow.
You know, you didn't have to go all the way there.
Well, I remember it so well.
And I knew how to do it. And other guys were like, I'm sure I want to. What part do you touch there? And I'm like, come on, man, just get out of the way.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. And now it's a 3-0 count on Jesse Winker. Another one that they had all the time was Banner Day or Banner Night, where people, you remember that yet? Banner Night was big. I mean, people would put a lot of work into making banners that were Reds related, and then prior to the game, they would walk the warning track around Riverfront Stadium displaying their artistic work. 3-0 delivery, and that's taken for a strike. Trying to think of some other ones that were memorable.
Well, I tell you one, and this is specifically for you.
What's that?
But I just thought it was a really cool thing. And that is when they made the bobblehead of you and Tom.
Really? Well, I thought it was a great gesture on the part of the ball club.
Well, I mean, just think about that from a bigger perspective than just the personal thing of you and your son. I mean, who else gets to have a bobblehead of themselves and their son that both work for the same team?
Well, you got a point there.
I mean, you would think, okay, the Boones or the Griffeys, that didn't happen because they weren't at the same time.
No, that's correct. Yeah, that was special. And the other thing was the night I got my hair cut.
That was big.
Around home plate. That was, I've often said that's the single greatest night I've ever spent in this ballpark that wasn't directly related to a game, like a Griffey 500th home run or the Jay Bruce home run that sent him to the postseason.
Well, you gave great acumen and just awareness of that charity. That was huge.
Well, it was a special night for me, and as it turned out for the Dragonfly Foundation. Foul ball. Puig is single, Winker has walked, and Iglesias at the plate with an 0-2 count. In fact, I talked to Joe Babbage yesterday on the telephone, our lawyer friend from Sacramento, and he said, I'm going to play golf tomorrow at San Francisco Country Club with Chris Spire.
Oh, really?
And I said, well, you be sure and tell Chris that he was the reason that I got my head shaved, because he said this club could win 10 games in a row. And I said, no, it couldn't. And he said, what would you do? And I said, I don't know. What would you have me do? And he said, would you shave your head? Shave all that hair off? I said, yeah. Never dreaming I'd have to do it. So I said, just remind Chris he was a guy. 0-2 the count on Jose Iglesias. Reds have 2 on, down by 3 runs. And Trevor Bauer, 89 pitches. Is he operating on fumes right now or close to it?
I think I would say you're right. He's throwing a lot of breaking balls. That's taxing on your arm anyway. And it's a hot afternoon. I don't care what kind of shape you're in.
Foul ball. Iglesias fighting that pitch off and hitting a soft line drive over toward the Reds dugout.
It's not the loss of velocity or arm strength, it's control. And you don't have the same ability to muscle that breaking ball up there with the same kind of bite. I mean, that last pitch was 97. He can still throw the ball hard. It's just not the same location as we saw earlier in the ballgame.
Foul ball again, and right now at a time that Bauer would love to get an easy out, Iglesias is making him work.
You've got one of the better 2-strike hitters at the plate in the game, not just on the Reds, but he's got a boatload of 2-out hits.
0-2 and holding as runners lead at first and second with nobody out. And that's high and tight. Missed badly with that pitch.
Now, that's on purpose, especially after you foul off that last breaking ball. That's a good breaking ball by Bauer, and Iglesias able to get a piece of it. If you're a pitcher in this spot, you've got to come back in before you go back to that breaking ball.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and Bauer looking down to Roberto Perez and readies himself for the next pitch to Iglesias. And here it comes, and that one's chopped toward third. And the throw goes to second, and they get the middleman on the force out. The throw to Jason Kipnis from third baseman Ramirez. So the Reds have him at first and third, and the batter will be Jose Peraza. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it today or first thing tomorrow at Kroger.com. Peraza started the 5th inning off with a base hit, and he was a man who came around to score what has been the Reds' only run to date. The pitch. Foul ball.
I am told that having your name on a Coke bottle had to be the highlight of your career.
Well, yeah, I would pay thanks to Ron Reedy.
He popped that baby in there in a hurry.
That's right. Not only that, but also one for Amanda with her name on it. There's a strike call, and it's 0-2. There's a guy I miss seeing on a fairly regular basis.
I do too. Not just because he works for Coca-Cola,
good man,
but more so because he is a very, very good man.
He sure is. Trevor Bauer hunkering down right now. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Nope, he'll throw to first. Iglesias gets back. Opportunity in the first. Reds couldn't cash in. Even though they scored a run in the 5th inning, they should have gotten at least one more.
Yes.
But Votto and Suarez back-to-back struck out looking. Votto never swung at a pitch. Now the strike 2, and that's way off the plate. Bauer now closing in on 100 pitches. I'd be surprised if he went back out in the 7th inning, but we'll find out.
Well, he leads the National League in pitches, average pitches per start at 111 plus.
Wow. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. That is 7 of them now for Trevor Bauer, and what's impressive is that 4 of them have come in the last inning and 2/3. He punched out 3 batters in the 5th inning after having only 3 through the first 4, and now he rings Peraza's bell and goes to work on Kyle Farmer, who has been up there and struck out twice against him. Strike 1 called. And a 4-hit afternoon total for the Reds after they collected a robust total of 5 yesterday. There's a pitch that just misses and not by much, a ball, a strike. Bauer's walked 3. And now this next pitch will be his 100th pitch of the game. He went around. Now the runner goes to second, and that'll be a stolen base. Iglesias kind of caught him napping. A delayed steal that results in a stolen base for the Red shortstop.
Well, if nothing else, you make the Indians make the long throw across the infield rather than just a flip towards second base for the force out.
Josh Van Meter on deck. Well, you talk about a club badly in need of a 2-out hit. Wow. But Trevor Bauer has flat had his way with Kyle Farmer today. And now a long look into Perez. That's not occurred very often in this game. And now he pauses at the belt and slings it toward the plate, and that's a strikeout swinging. And that's the 3rd time he's punched out Farmer, and the Reds miss another opportunity. We go to the 7th. Jeff Brantly back with a play-by-play, and the Reds continue to trail by 3.
Robert Stevenson, he will head back to the mound. He retired the Indians in order, getting 8, 9, and 1. The final one would be a strikeout of Francisco Lindor. Now he gets 2, 3, and 4 here in the Indians' order. Indians ahead in this ball game 4-1 as we begin the 7th inning of play. A 3-run 5th inning has been the difference in this ball game, and those 3 runs came for the Indians. The big blow, a 2-run home run out of center field by Jake Bauers. First pitch bounces all the way to the backstop as Allen started to bunt, pulled the bat back in time. 1 ball, no strike count. Allen 2 for 3 today. Allen now 9 for his last 24, and he's played some great defensive ball as well, and he smokes this one into center field. Winker back and looking up off the top of the wall, and Allen is going to be heading on for 3. Long throw from Puig, but he's not going to get that guy. He can motor. And motor he does as he rolls into third base with a leadoff triple. Well, for a guy that came into the ball game hitting at 169, He has had one heck of a day. Single in the third, single to lead off the fifth, which was the 3-run fifth. He scored as well, and now he is standing at third base with nobody out. And here's Carlos Santana. And a breaking ball misses down 1-0. Reds bring the infield all the way in on the cut of the grass. Stevenson, the set, the kick, the pitch. Swing and a foul back behind home plate. When Stevenson was in the starting rotation and really making spot starts, if you will, the last couple of years, it was curveball, fastball, and a changeup. This ball fouled down the left field line and the seat's out of play. He picked up the slider towards the end of last year and really worked on it a lot with Derek Johnson in spring training. That has been his go-to pitch out of the bullpen. And he's got a whole lot of work to do if he is to hold Allen at third base here in this inning after the leadoff triple. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's a third of the way home as Santana swings right over the top of it for strike 3. 1 down. Jason Kipnis will step to the plate. It's the 11th strikeout for the Reds here today against Indians batters. But you can strike out the world, and you got to have some runs on the board for it to really matter a whole lot. So Farmer in a meeting with the right-hander Stevenson. Jose Ramirez waiting in the on-deck circle. Home plate umpire David Rackley, a short trip out to the mound, made it about halfway. And that appeared to be as much of a stall tactic as anything else. And now the Reds will go to the bullpen. It appears it's going to be a double switch. Phillip Ervin coming off the bench. He will take over in left field as Josh Van Meter will come out of the ball game. So we've got a pitching change going on. We'll tell you who it is and the moves that are made when we come. Phillip Ervin will go to left field, replacing Josh Van Meter, and that will put Ervin in the number, well, I would assume it will put him in the number 9 spot. As David Hernandez comes on, infield continues to be well in. And Hernandez will go to work here against the left-handed hitting Jason Kipnis. First pitch fouled to left side, out of play. Big strikeout of Santana by Stevenson after the leadoff triple by Greg Allen. Reds can ill afford to allow another run. This ball grounded foul over towards the first base side. And Hernandez comes in throwing bullseyes. No balls and 2 strikes here to Kipnis. Righty sets, turns it loose. And a base hit into left field. That will score Allen from third base. And it is now a 5-1 Indians lead. Fastball out over the plate. Kipnis just put the barrel on the bat, or put the barrel on the ball, I should say. And when When you have the infield in, unless it's right at you, the chances of you making a play are very, very slim, and the Reds not able to make a play there. And the first pitch to Ramirez is a breaking ball down and in, 1-0. So Kipnis aboard for the second time here this afternoon. He walked in the first. He singles home a run here in the seventh. And a tapper that goes towards the third base side. Quick play and reaction by Hernandez, and somehow he got Ramirez at first base. Quickly to the ball, an off-balance throw, and he put it on the money. Down to second base will go Jason Kipnis. And that'll go 1-3 on the putout. It was an awfully good play by David Hernandez, 2 down. So now Jake Bowers, 1 for 3 today. His one, a home run to dead center that scored not only himself, but another runner as well. And he hits this one on a line, but it's right at Yasiel Puig for the final out of the Indians here in the seventh. Indians have played add-on baseball. They lead this one 5-1 as we head to the bottom of 7 here on the Cincinnati Bell. It appears I made a mistake here. Josh Van Meter is still in the ball game. It was Jesse Winker that came out of the game because Van Meter is hitting here. Irvin is in the number 1 spot. So Van Meter to lead things off, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball over the outside corner, strike 1, and Bauer has done that all afternoon. Breaking balls early, fastballs late. Another breaking ball that misses off the outside corner, evens a count at a ball and a strike. The pitch. Hit hard left side. Backhanded Lindor. Quick throw to first. Got him. That is twice today that Francisco Lindor has had to make an off-balance throw on a ball he had to travel a bit to get to the backhand side. The one thing Lindor does, he gets rid of it quickly. Even though it took a couple of bounces, it was right on the money to Santana, 1 down. Now Phillip Ervin will step to the plate. And he takes the first pitch off the outside corner, 1-0. Actually, Van Meter came in to play second base. Peraza is out of the ball game. Well, when you got guys that can play all over the place, you better stay right on top of it. And that's advice that I need to heed. The pitch. And that's a strike, a breaking ball right on the outside corner, a 2-0 hook. And Bauer put it right on the outside edge. The 2-1 pitch coming. Fastball, same spot, strike 2. Bauer working quicker now than we have seen all afternoon. And he has still got some serious giddy up to the fastball. He throws back-to-back heaters, and he strikes out Phillip Ervin without him taking the bat off his shoulder. 2 down. Here's Joey Votto. Votto 0 for 3 today. He has flied out twice, once to left, once to center, and struck out looking back in the 5th with the Reds in their best scoring opportunity, and he'll take a breaking ball, strike 1. And you've got a guy on the mound throwing hooks the way Bauer has today for strikes early in the count. That's not something that you want to hit. But what it does is it allows Bauer to get ahead in the count. And another breaking ball here just off the outside corner. I mean, a hitter's coming to the plate looking for a fastball to drive. The last thing that you want to hit is a wicked hook that snaps to the plate. But Bauer has been able to throw those breaking balls for strikes. And another breaking ball, and that hits the outside corner. And that's the kind of pitching that really frustrates hitters. And you can see it from the body language of Joey Votto here. He is unhappy. Votto steps back in. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. 2 down for the Reds here in the 7th. Bauer to the plate. And another backdoor breaking ball, and Bauer thought he had strike 3. He was heading to the dugout. Right at the very top of the strike zone. And Bauer may have had a case for a strike there. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Pitch. Popped up. Shallow left center. Coming on quickly is Bowers. He's got it. And the Reds will go quietly here.
Still night at the ballpark, Friday, July 19th. The Reds are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Off to See the Lizard album with a special Margaritaville ticket package presented by Cincinnati Bell. Get your game ticket plus an exclusive Lizard bobblehead. Plus, don't miss a post-game fireworks show presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit reds.com/themes.
Did you say lizard?
We're off to see the lizard. Yeah. Can we say it one more time?
No, I'm trying to envision a lizard bobblehead.
Well, it'll be very attractive, I'm sure of that. Go along with my very extensive collection. 2-0 on Perez. Off to see the lizard, not to be confused with Off to See the Wizard. Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Bert Lahr. 2-0 pitch. Line drive to left, and that'll go to the wall, and that's for more than one base. Perez heading towards second, and he has doubled to begin the 8th inning.
Let's look back at our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game.
Must we?
Cleveland, we do. Cleveland will be hosting its 6th All-Star game on Tuesday, as we know. Your question today, in what year did Cleveland play host to the Midsummer Classic for the first time? Your choices on the day were A, 1935, B, 1943, or C, 1949. Your original answer, if you don't remember, was B, 1943.
I'm changing.
Okay. Would you like to let me know and the folks that are listening what you're changing it to?
Here's another rocket. This one to right field. And that's going to get a run in. Maybe. No, it will. But the runner, Naquin, thought about double and had to change his mind after the great throw by Puig. But that's an RBI, and that makes it a 6-1 ball game on the Indians' favor. I am going to, with great trepidation, change it to 1935.
So you're going to go with A.
I think it's a bad idea. I'm sticking with 43.
You know, right when I X'd it out and tried to fix it on my book.
You know what that is?
Yeah, that's white out.
That's correct. I'm going to stick with 43. Swing and a miss.
All right.
Let me think about that.
Okay.
I'm going to keep 43. No, I'm good with 43. Okay. I don't want to hear all that, homie.
All right. 1943 is your final answer.
That is my final answer.
Let's have a look.
All right.
The answer is A.
Son of a... Here's another base hit. That ball goes to the wall. Runner heading toward third and beyond. 3 straight hits have produced 2 runs, and it is 7-1 in favor of the Cleveland Indians.
Bobby Bradley pinch hitting for Bauer there.
Wow.
The first time Cleveland hosted the All-Star Game was in 1935. The American League defeated the National League by a score of 4-1 at Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Yes, sir.
Was that the one that they termed the mistake by the lake?
That is the one.
I don't think I ever went to that stadium.
That's the one.
Did you go there?
I did not.
Okay.
Here's Francisco Lindor. Bobby Brantly doubles in a run, and the second run of the inning, and Hernandez is yet to get a batter out as Lindor swings and fouls.
I'm going to do that like I used to do when I was in 5th grade, and I thought I had the answer, changed it, went back. I just scribbled it all out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The bottom line on all this,
I outthunk myself. Go ahead.
you missed it.
I did. In the air, and now we've got to wait foul ball to left. We've got to wait until Friday when my back will be against the wall.
In Colorado.
Bingo. And I hope the light air doesn't confuse me. Sometimes I get confused, you know.
Really?
Yes. What a sarcastic response that was.
Well, I have learned from the master.
Really?
I have learned from the master.
Shoot.
You don't have to tell me twice.
My ball and 2 strikes on Lindor.
Go to sleep at night thinking there's an echo in here.
That's correct.
I just said that.
Nice talking with
I
you.
just said that.
Yeah, here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. Completing it is catcher Farmer with a throw down to first. Bradley Jr. at second, and here's Greg Allen. He's had a big day today for a young man who doesn't start very often. 2 singles, a triple, has scored twice, and he'll stand in now, and apparently we're going to get more changes from manager David Bell. I'd say this game has got out of hand right now. If it's just a matter of giving some guys work, since they're going to have 4 days of inactivity, can understand that. But Reds will be into their 5th pitcher of the day and their 4th out of the bullpen. Not a good final appearance before the break for David Hernandez. And, oh, by the way, the bullpen has given up 4.
It was a 1-4 record, 37 2/3 innings pitched with 44 strikeouts.
I mean, quite honestly, we've seen so many guys come and go, and we have seen so much of Jimmy Herget in past spring trainings. You wondered if the day was ever going to come when he got a call up to the big leagues, and a few short days ago he did, and now he's going to make an effort to have a memorable, for all the right reasons, debut at the highest level there is. He'll face Greg Allen. Reds now have Van Meter at second. Farmer at second, Van Meter in left. Casale behind the plate. The first pitch is taken for a strike. So Jimmy Herget's first pitch is a big leaguer, a strike. Again, Van Meter in left, Farmer at second, and Casale behind the plate. Runner at second with 2 runs in and 1 out. And that one's fouled off.
Now, Herget is not going to blow you away with velocity. Where his asset is from a pitching standpoint is the ability to change speeds, but more than anything else, he looks different than everyone else as he throws the ball to the plate. He's got a little bit of deception as he delivers his pitches.
Swung high on a pitch up, and Allen hits foul. When you come see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark. It is the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo, presented by Dynegy. Herget with a pause in the pitch, and it's pull foul. 7-12-1 for the Indians, 1-4-0 for Cincinnati. Allen hanging in there with a holding 2 strikes and nothing count. And that pitch misses badly up and away. This inning began on a double to left by Perez, then the single by Naquin to drive Roberto Perez in. And then Naquin scored all the way from first on a double to right to left center rather, by Bobby Brantly Jr. 2-2. David Hernandez works 1 inning, allows 4 hits. He had a strikeout. And so far 2 runs with a runner at second belonging to him also. The 2-2 on the way. Hit well back into right center, and that's gone. 2-run home run by Greg Allen. First batter that Jimmy Herget faces in his big league career. And this has turned into a good old-fashioned butt whipping. It is 9-1 now in favor of Cleveland. I guess your Major League debut will be memorable for not all the right reasons. I mean, that ball was hit so well that nobody in the outfield even moved. And the first pitch is taken by Carlos Santana, ball 1. Ball strikes. He'll close the book on Hernandez. 1 inning, 4 hits, 3 runs, and a strikeout. And this bullpen continues to give up runs at an alarming rate. Swing and a miss. They gave up 5 runs yesterday. They've given up 5 runs today. Of course, the previous 2 games, largely due to the great starting pitching of Castillo and Sonny Gray. Bullpen was short-timers in that game, and even the 5-4 win the Reds had when they really pitched well in the opening game of the series, it's not been pretty.
You've got to hope that this All-Star break will give this bullpen a chance to get a little bit of rest, maybe re-energize, because you open in Colorado.
Bouncing ball hit to first. Votto has it, and that left foot was on the bag when he made the pickup. 2 out in the inning. Batter will be Jason Kipnis. He's 1 for 2, has walked, has sacrificed, and his base hit in the 7th drove in a run. Breaking ball for a strike. Scoring started way back in the 4th inning on a home run by Tyler Naquin. But then the Indians really amped it up with 3 runs in the 5th. The Reds scored what has been their only run in the bottom of the 5th, but now a run in the 7th and a big 4 spot here in the 8th inning to blow this baby wide open. Foul ball. Well, this Reds team is going to end play before the break on a real down note when the bugaboo has been the inability to hit with any consistency whatsoever. Check swing. And with all the good things they did earlier on the stand, beating Chicago 2 out of 3 and winning the final 3 of a 4-game series against Milwaukee, they could end this break, leading up to the break, 5.5 games back again. Here's a rocket down the right field line, and that's a home run. Kipnis lines one out of here to right. 7th home run, and it's a 10-1 ball game now. Jose Ramirez will be the 8th man to bat in the inning. Ball strike. And a strike call, 0-2. 2 out, 5 runs in. 10-1 lead for the Indians. Almost hit him with that pitch. They're going to end play today with a 6-game winning streak, which they'll take into that Minnesota Twins series beginning in Cleveland on Friday night. Line foul. Almost picked off the first base coach. Get rocked in his major league debut. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit to right. I mean, they are squaring things up against Herget. Base hit to right by Ramirez. That's his first hit in the game. And now Jake Bauers will stand in, already with a home run under his belt today, and he'll be the 9th man to hit in the inning as catcher Kurt Casale goes out to the mound to commiserate, I'm sure, with Jimmy Herget. Here's a stretch and the pitch to Bauers, and that's a strike. 15 hits today for Cleveland, and 26 hits in this 2-game series. Swing and a miss. To make Bauers the final out of the inning. And he lines it over the leaping second baseman Farmer into right. And the Indians keep on swinging the bat. Another Cleveland base hit. Kevin Plawecki will come to the plate to bat. He is the backup catcher on this Indians ball club, and he'll come on to bat now for Roberto Perez, former New York Met. And that'll drop for a base hit and right, and that'll send another run home. And it is 11-1. RBI pinch hit single for Plawecki, who no doubt will stay in the game and do the catching for the remainder of this one. And now Tyler Naquin, who had a hit and knocked in a run earlier in the inning, an inning in which Roberto Perez started off with a 2-base hit to left, and then Naquin singled to right to drive in the first of what has now been a 6-run inning. Ball strike.
It's not just throwing a strike here. It's where you throw the strike. And if you're up middle of the thigh, get that bad boy up here.
0-2 on a swing and a miss.
You got to be up, up, or down, down. Anything in the middle, trouble.
He came on after Lindor was a strikeout victim of David Hernandez. Greg Allen greeted with a 2-run home run. He got Santana to bounce out to Joey Votto. But then Kipnis homered. Ramirez and Bowers and Plawecki have all fouled with base hits. So this has been a big-time hit parade this 8th inning for the Indians, who have upped the lead now to 11-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Naquin, looking for his second hit in the inning with runners at first and second. That one's popped up off of third. Suarez got a play on it and makes it, and the inning mercifully is over. 6 runs crossed for the Indians. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and they now lead 11.
As he takes over for Trevor Bauer.
Bauer goes 7 innings, gives up a run on 4 hits. He strikes out 9 and walks 3. Reds have Eugenio Suarez to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning against the right-hander Whitgren. In the pitch. In for a strike. And the ball inside, 1-1 to count. Very high in the air, headed toward right field. And Naquin will make the play for out number 1. Kevin Plawecki remains in the game to do the catching, as we had expected to be the case. And batter now will be Yasiel Puig. He's had 2 hits today. Extended his hitting streak to a modest 5 games with a base hit in the first inning. With 1 down, he stands in the batter's box. Swing and a miss. This team wearing, as we mentioned earlier today, the uniforms of the 56 Reds, and this 2019 edition did not do justice to those uniforms. The way that team swung the bat at Crosley Field. Time call now as Puig bats away from the plate. Whitgren ready and pitching. And that's a strike. The Reds are going to end the break 5 games under 500, 41-46. The Indians are going to go 50-38. Swung on and fouled off. Pitch. Just a bit off the outside corner, a ball. Those games of interest to both of these teams. Minnesota, they're in the bottom of the 6th inning up in Minneapolis, tied up with the Texas Rangers at 1-1. Foul ball. St. Louis just underway after a half-inning no score in San Francisco. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh all tied up at 3-3 at the top of the 7th inning at PNC Park. And the Cubs and the White Sox 3-0 White Sox, bottom of the 6th. Very high and hit well back into left. Did he get all of it or did he get under it? He got under it. And the catch is made a step away from the wall and left. And they're 2 out in the inning. Just missing what would have been number 21 on the year. Here's Jesse Winker. 0 for 2 with a walk. It looks like Matt Bowman is going to pitch a 9th inning for the Reds. That's a strike.
Lined out twice and walked today.
Yep. One ball and 1 strike. Grounded ball, backhanded by the first baseman, who will flip on to Whitgren, and the Reds go down. They take on the Cardinals Saturday, July 20th. The first 20,000 through the gates will receive a Eugenio Funko Pop. Plus 500 lucky fans will get an exclusive goal one. For tickets, visit Reds.com/150. That is Saturday, July the 20th. Matt Bowman, who had his own special problems here yesterday, working the 9th inning and giving up 2 hits and 3 runs, and had a heck of a time throwing strikes. He walked 3, 1 intentionally. And now he's on to try and finish things off. And pitcher Nick Whitgren will bat for himself before Lindor and Allen do their thing. Foul ball. So Jimmy Herget's major league debut, 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits and 3 runs. 17-hit day for the Tribe. And batting in the 9th with an 11-1 lead. The pitch. Pull foul at 3rd. At this stage of the year, when you look toward what happens after the break, you can tell folks where they're going to be come Friday. You can't tell them who's going to pitch. And that's the case here. They open up that weekend series of 3 at Coors Field in Denver on Friday night. It'll be an 8:40 beginning, Cincinnati time. The ball low.
This is Jordan Luplow.
Jordan Luplow, good for me. So they're going to give somebody else a chance to pitch in the bottom of the 9th. So Luplow batting for Nick Whitgren with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And the foul was out of play.
Well, the Reds are getting everybody in the game today. Michael Lorenzen is playing left field.
Yes, he is.
Van Meter, I guess he's at first base. Played all over the place today.
Between he and Peraza, full foul at 3rd.
And Farmer was catching.
He started behind the plate. He'll end up at second base. Van Meter's at first. Still with Iglesias at short. Suarez at 3rd. Lorenzen in left. DeWink in center. And Puig in right. Casale behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Luplow strikes out. Former Pirate down on strikes. Here's Francisco Lindor. He had a hit back in the 3rd, was at the time working on a 1-for-2 day, but since that time, punch out, and yes, another punch out. Wind up and the pitch. That's a ball. Looking at the lineup of those who have walked home with the Frank Robinson Most Outstanding Player Award in this Ohio Cup year-in, year-out battle between the Redlegs and the Indians, going all the way back to 2008 when the award was initiated in honor of the great Frank Robinson. Adam Dunn had some kind of 6 games against Indians pitching. He hit 5 home runs and knocked in 10 runs. However, last year, Jose Ramirez, in the 4 games between the two teams, hit 5 home runs and knocked in 11. That pitch is high for a ball. Some impressive numbers turned in and down the road. All the years this series has been played with the Ohio Cup on the line. Full foul at first.
Looks like left-hander Tyler Olson will be the pitcher in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Indians. He is getting loose at the moment.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Bowman steps off the pitching rubber, and Lindor steps away from the plate. Greg Allen momentarily is going to be up there looking for a 5th hit. Fastball in. Whether he gets it or not, they have had 2 players with 4 hits in each of the 2 games here. Perez did it yesterday. He had a 4-for-5 game, and Allen grounded out his first time up in this one. That one is stung toward the alley in right center, and that's a gap shot. It goes to the wall. Lindor will coast into second base with his 17th double of the season.
Greg Allen's got a chance to hit for the cycle here.
Yes, he does. All he needs is a double.
Got the tough one out of the way with the triple.
He sure did. Young man tried to show Terry Francona, I need more playing time. He's mounted a pretty good reason why based on what he's done this afternoon. Ground ball up the middle and fielded by Iglesias. He throws him out. On to third base goes Lindor. So Allen will finish today 4 for 6. 3 runs scored, 2 runs knocked in. Here's Carlos Santana. He has double walked twice, struck out and bounced out. $27,041 show up for today's Titanic struggle. 27,041. 63,600 for this 2-game series. And really, attendance has been awfully good. You go back to the Brewer series, 20,000, 21,000, almost 23. In the early stages of that series, only crowds of 15 and 16. But, of course, when the Cubs come to town, they bring them in. They had 31 for one game, 41-3 for another, almost 37 for the first game. So this has been by pretty much anybody's measuring stick, a well-attended homestand for the Reds. It will end up being a 5-4 stand. That pitch is taken for strike 3 on the inside, and that ends the inning. No runs. They hit 1 last. We go to the bottom of the ninth. 11-1 Indians on
.18 ERA. He's allowed 28 hits in his 23 2/3 innings.
Nick Whitgren went an inning and retired the Reds in order in the 8th inning. Thus, Tyler Olson becomes the 3rd pitcher used by Cleveland. Reds, on the other hand, had a 6-pitcher day, and the Indians scored on every one with the exception of the last one, Matt Bowman. Here's Jose Iglesias, and he takes a strike. Scored 3 times off Malley, who's only able to pitch into the 5th inning. 1 each on Hughes and Stevenson, 3 each on Hernandez and Herget. Swing at a foul ball. Plawecki jumped all over that ball thinking maybe it was fair, but not so, and the count's 0-2. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball hit into left field and caught for out number 1. Tonight, the Futures game, right, from Cleveland? Got all excited, forgot all about it, didn't you? Alex Trammell will be playing in that game for the 2nd year in a row. The Reds outfielder, one of the nicest young men you'll ever met. Last year he played in it, was the most valuable player. He'll be on in that game tonight, then the Home Run Derby tomorrow night, and then the All-Star game on Tuesday night. All events taking place in Cleveland. 1 ball and no strikes on Kurt Casale. Two and 0. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Kyle Farmer due up next. 1 out, bottom of inning number 9, and the Reds trail by 10. The pitch. Ball 4. So the left-hander Olsen walks Casale on 4 straight pitches, and out will be Farmer. 3 times up today, he has punched out every plate appearance. Ball 1. So, Jeff, enjoy your time home. Tommy, you enjoy your trip back to Pensacola. Yid taking his grandson whitewater rafting.
Is he now?
Yes, he is. And there's a call strike.
Feet first, Yid. When you tump over, feet first. Just let the water carry you on down.
Don't fight it.
Don't try to swim.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's grounded foul. You speak from experience.
I bit of that water and just go.
Marty couldn't handle it. Marty is not a big fan of cold water.
It was fun, though.
Fun does not exceed cold water.
But it was a very cheap.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Infield looking for the ground ball, and that one hangs way outside. A 2-2 count now on the .231 batting Farmer. Only run the Reds have scored today came back in the 5th inning on a leadoff single by Jose Peraza, and 1 out later, a double by pinch hitter Josh Van Meter. It's the only thing that's kept them from being shut out. That one's lifted to right, hit deep down the line, going into the corner of the right fielder, and he made the catch.
Wow.
Running right out of our line of vision, Tyler Naquin went into the right field corner, undaunted by that wall closing in on him rapidly, and he was able to make the catch. And a very nice play turned in by the Indians right fielder in foul territory. No, that was a fair ball.
Long way to run and not a whole lot of room to stop.
Nope. So now Van Meter steps in. Fastball strike. outside. A ball to strike. Two call.
Well, he's got that bit of a drop-down breaking ball. I can see where he can be difficult on left-handed batters.
He's being difficult right now on Josh Van Meter. Keeping the ball in on him, and he gets ahead in the count. And he pitches. And that's way outside. A big sweeping breaking ball that didn't come close to the zone. It's a 2-2 count. Rick Casale over at first. Indians obviously not concerned about his whereabouts. And the pitch. And that's a strikeout swinging. And this game is in the books. The Indians take both games of this two-game series and rather emphatically